daily radiation of photons. And this little box down here is our global annual energy consumption. So you can see all of the choices we have to shift to solar age kind of economy. And the thing is now we just have to do it and to learn how to harness these free photons as well as nature does with her green leaves, which then provide our food supply. So that's why we produced the Green Transition Scoreboard. And we have been measuring private investments since 2007 in all of the really green technologies: renewable energy, green buildings and efficiency, smart grids, including microgrids, clean technology, corporate R&D. We do not count nuclear, coal, CCS, all of those things, agricultural-based biofuels, which interfere with the food supply. We don't include them. And so our current total globally is 3.3 trillion in private sector investment already in the pipeline. And so our model of the green transition is the lowest possible entropy kind of production and consumption, and to dematerialize the total economic output. What we want to do is reduce throughput of energy, materials through better science and knowledge, and move toward nature's model of biomimicry. And we have to remember the importance of leapfrog technologies, and these are the ones that are best employed by developing countries. And this leapfrog technology is possible because developing countries have fewer stranded assets, that is, investments already in coal and nuclear and national electrical grids and all of those things. And they can innovate their infrastructure because they don't have so much of it that's inappropriate from the last age. And they can go straight to much more energy efficient cities and buildings. And the basic thing really is shifting. The leapfrog is about what's happening, say, in Brazil. In other words, they go straight to cell phones without having to build landlines. So this is what we mean by leapfrog. Why do we say we need 10 trillion by 2020? And we are right on track now with this 1 trillion every year. And if we just keep that up until 2020, we can emerge into the solar age and leave the fossil fuel age behind. So what we're talking about is accelerating and ramping up the scale of renewable and sustainable technologies to reduce the prices below fossil fuels. And you can click on this Climate Solutions 2 computer model just to see how they think this can be done, and we agree with them. Because solar energy is already cheaper than nuclear energy. So you can go straight to our website there to get all the numbers on the Green Transition Scoreboard. And so we are backing it up with all of the recent green technology reports. We use over 100 reports that came out in the last year and a half, showing that this is entirely possible to make this shift and to get it funded. And the problem that we're having now is with big institutional pension funds and endowments, and many of these big funds still have portfolio analysts who were trained in the old market model, which has failed so badly. They learned in school about efficient markets and rational actors, and the kind of risk metrics that just sunk that big trade in London that JP Morgan did, value at risk. So they are all on the herd behavior model, all trying to beat each other. And this is a very obsolete kind of asset allocation. And they're still teaching it at business schools, unfortunately. And there are many conflicts of interest too that between these portfolio managers and the actual trustees of those portfolios, particularly labor union pension funds, where what happens is that the trustees get sort of talked down to by the portfolio managers, and they're often intimidated by them. And so what we're saying is that they now are the sort of blockage, and that there are some courses now to retrain these portfolio managers in the new models of environmental and social and governance performance. The other blockages that you know well are the substitute fossil fuels and nuclear and ethanol, which mercifully we have finally cut off in the United States. So we have our Transforming Finance initiative, where we produced a statement with the Capital Institute and the University of Notre Dame and the Networking Institute. And we had a group of former market participants, you might call them dropouts from Wall Street, kind of recovering from the old model. And our statement talked about how our financial models have been fundamentally restructured. That's the whole issue now. And basically to retrain these asset managers. And what we are saying is that finance has always been part of the global economy since Bretton Woods. And we realize that sensible finance at the local level, without all of this global casino that we have going today, is a very useful service. But we have to remember that financial people do not provide capital. They're just intermediaries. All they do is to take the savings of other people in the real economy, and they're supposed to invest it wisely in real enterprises. And that's where the financial model is broken down. So we hope that some of you will go to that Transforming Finance website there and help us by joining the global experts who have already signed that statement. And the good news at the national level, as you know, is how much action there finally is to correct GDP. And this one, I was involved in organizing this one at the European Parliament, called Beyond GDP in 2007. That has made quite considerable progress, and you'll find we report that on our website, on our Beyond GDP page. Eurostat, UK is doing wellness and well-being statistics. Following the Canadian Index of Well-being. There's the World Wildlife Living Planet Index, and the MDG dashboard for the UN Millennium Development Goals, the OECD, the Better Life Index, and of course we funded a lot of surveys in 12 countries showing that the general public totally understands this and the need to shift. And in Brazil, we have the Brazil Watch, which is another set of very good indicators. We pioneered the Hazel Henderson policy of life indicators in 2000, using the dashboard web-based model where you don't need macroeconomics at all. You just put all of these different indicators up on the website, and people can look at each one as they wish. So we update that regularly at calvert-henderson.com. And so GlobeScan is our partner doing the surveys we've been doing on Beyond GDP, and you can find all of those on our website. And we finally decided that we had to do something about advertising, because advertising is really most of the misinformation on mass media now comes from advertising from the fossil fuel industry and the nuclear power industry. And it's very hard to critique media and advertising, at least in our country, because we come up against the First Amendment, and they say that we would be interfering with freedom of speech. So instead, we created this award in 2004, and we're just in our 6th year now. And we're trying to raise the bar on advertising and getting advertisers to really assume more responsibility. So this is an award for advertising that uplifts the human spirit in society. And you can look on that website and see that the awards we've been giving in the past, including, for example, a story of bottled water by our wonderful friend Annie Leonard. So take a look, and if you find there are really good advertising campaigns that you think tell the truth, please nominate them and send us their name.